Hello, dear sister. This video is about morning sickness and something called Hyperemesis Gravidarum, or HG, as I'm going to call it from now on because I don't trust myself to say it properly every time. Um, Now, I'm putting them together in one video, but that doesn't mean that they're even remotely the same. They're related a little bit, but mostly they're very different. Um, The one thing they have in common is fear. But I say that not to put blame on any of the women that are experiencing morning sickness or HG. The first thing I want to say is that neither one is your fault. First, I'm going to talk about morning sickness. Morning sickness is really sort of a Western construct. There's societies where they don't even have a word for morning sickness because it just doesn't happen. It's been one of those things that have been infiltrated into our consciousness. Um, but again, that doesn't mean it's not real. It's very, very, very real. Um, the fear part of morning sickness, though, um, it comes up in feeling nauseous, and the fear with morning sickness is from mostly this lifetime. That's what I get when I tune in. I'm one of the lucky ones that have never had neither one of them. Um, but I had my own shit, you know? It's not like I didn't have morning sickness and everything was wonderful. No, I had my own shit in different ways. Um, but the big difference between morning sickness and HG I pick up when I tune in is that the morning sickness is fear from this lifetime. The HG is past lifetime trauma mixing with some fears for this lifetime. It's much heavier, it's much denser, which is why it's much more severe. So I'm going to talk about mostly HG, but just to talk a bit about morning sickness. There is this old wives' tale that, morning sickness is a good thing. If you have morning sickness, it means you're going to have a healthy baby. So that's just one of the little ways we get brainwashed in there, too. Um, if we have fears about mothering in this lifetime, or we have fears about anything, it can come up as morning sickness. Um, I can't tell you ways to cure it. I can only tell you what the causes of it and why you're experiencing it. Just help you understand a little more. Um, but the key in both here is self-love and self-nurturing. Morning sickness can be a horrible thing to have. Usually it goes away after 3 months, give or take. But it's really a time to, voice your fears, write them down. Anything you might, it's a time to really focus on purging anything you don't need anymore. Face it and purge it. And purging, yeah, I don't mean vomiting. Um, but it's a time to look at anything that you might be suppressing, anything you're not really, um, not anything you're not really, you have to be willing to look at it. And just know that you're having this experience as a way to um, push past the fear, to push past the fear. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not more scared than most women. It's just a vehicle you have chosen to deal with these fears. So if you can voice them, if you can and just let them out, that can help you. Is it going to make the morning sickness go away? I can't tell you that. But you'll be stronger on the other side of this. Just do whatever you can to take care of yourself. And sometimes that means asking for help. That was a big one I had to face my third pregnancy when I had a migraine 24/7 for weeks. I had to ask for help. That was not something I was used to doing. But you really have to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, ask for help, and face those fears, voice them, whatever they may be. Um, whatever they may be. Now, HG, that's really the focus on what I want to talk about right now. It's such a horrible thing. Unlike morning sickness, where you maybe will throw up once or twice, HG is throwing up dozens and dozens of times a day. I have a friend that went through it, and I've talked with a couple of women who have gone through it, and I've looked up some things about it. It's a horrible thing. I would take my 24/7 migraines any day over HG. But it's like having the worst stomach flu of your life, never ending. And it can be very dangerous. It can lead to malnutrition, rapid weight loss, dramatic weight loss. It can lead to dehydration, organ failure. It's very, very serious. And there's still so little known about it. And the women who have it have very little support. Very little support. Because you don't really know what it's like unless you've been through it. I haven't been through it. I don't know what it's like. I can only imagine it's like the worst thing to experience ever. So when I'm tuning into it, it was very clear that most oftentimes this HG is past life trauma from pregnancies in previous lifetimes. And it was very heavy, the pictures that were given to me. So, you know, women have become, these women became pregnant in past lives, and there was lots and lots of shame around it. Maybe it was out of wedlock, you know, how we used to be in the olden days, not as evolved and open-minded as we were now. Or any circumstance where the young woman wasn't supposed to get pregnant. But you know, the images I was shown was of horrible shame being inflicted on these women from their loved ones, and it is pretty traumatic, even just to see it. You know, just starved, abused. HG has its roots in being traumatized by pregnancy in a past life. And so you're getting pregnant in this life, and it's still embedded in your cell memory. And so, oh God, it's horrible. It's really so horrible. I feel for anyone who's been through this now or in the past. Oh God, humans just used to be so horrible. But your body is experiencing the same amount of trauma and bringing it through this time. And my only hope is that understanding this eases you just a little bit. It's not going to cure you, it's not going to make it go away, but just have a little bit of understanding and perhaps some compassion from someone who's been able to see the bigger picture and why this is afflicting you. It's due to a past life, very heavy emotional trauma. And some women that have HG now, they died in past lives from being pregnant, and not from natural occurrences from childbirth, but from abuse, neglect, starvation. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So HG affects, in my research of it, 1 to 2% of the pregnant population. And again, there's just so little known about it and so little support. But from what I can tell, it really is a past life fear embedded into the cells. So what can you do? I mean, I really have nothing to say that I can tell you why it's to make it go away, but to have the understanding. And all you can do is maybe talk to your body, say, I understand what happened in past life. You don't have to go in for past life regressions. You don't have to know exactly what happened. unless you think it will help. If you think it will help, then definitely do that. Absolutely. But you don't have to fully understand what happened to you to integrate it and transcend it, okay? But you can talk to your body and say, I understand we had past life trauma through pregnancy. This is a different experience. We are safe now. Talk to the baby in your belly. Tell your baby, even though they know what's going on, that you now understand what's going on. Talking to your body, talking to your biology, but just mostly having the understanding in your head that this is not something you're creating now because of anything you've done wrong or anything else like this. This is past life trauma that is trapped in your cells. And oftentimes it can also bring up any fears we have in this lifetime. So it's like a double whammy. It's the past fears upending all the present fears as well. I mean, heavy duty, heavy duty shit going on here. And the women that I have seen go through it, they're tremendous survivors, absolutely tremendous survivors. And like any other challenge you face on the way to motherhood or in your life, it does make you stronger. It does make you spiritually evolve. I can't help you get over it. All I can do is help you go through it consciously. And it's hard to be conscious of anything, I understand, when you're lying on the bathroom floor 24/7. With that comes up feelings of shame and guilt, especially if you have kids and you can't take care of them already. My friend who went through this, and I'm going to use her as an example. So she had it for her first 2 pregnancies. Very bad for like the first 6 months. Some of it can last the whole time, and you're not better until you give birth. Holy shit, how terrible is that? The third time my friend got pregnant, she really wanted this baby, had been feeling this baby. Her husband didn't really want the baby. He wasn't in alignment here. So her sickness was even worse this time than the first 2 times. It was even worse because it was this past life trauma still stuck in her cells, on top of the guilt that she felt for having it when her husband wasn't really aligned in it. And she was so, so sick this time. This was years ago. I wish I had more wisdom to share with her back then, but I didn't. But she ended up, because she was so very sick and she couldn't work, she couldn't take care of her 2 kids. She didn't have the support from her husband. She ended up getting an abortion. And I think, I can't remember, 1 in 7, I think, of women who have HG will have an abortion. Now, I did a whole video on conscious abortion, and I talk about abortion in my book, What All Spirit Babies Want Their Mamas to Know. If a woman chooses to have an abortion because she's experiencing HG, there should be no guilt around that. You know, if you want the whole scoop on what the spirit babies think about abortion, then check out the conscious abortion video or read my book, What All Spirit Babies Want Their Mamas to Know. But if you were doing this to save yourself, that's a tremendous act of self-love. So no guilt should be felt around abortion if you are suffering from HG. My friend had the abortion. Turned out to be an incredibly bonding time for she and her husband. After the abortion and going through this together, priorities were rearranged. He was now on board with having a 3rd baby. Having him on board made her sickness so much better than it had been in the past. Was she still sick? Yes. She wasn't as sick as she was the 3rd time, and she wasn't as sick as she was the first 2 times. So there was an alignment going on there. There was spiritual evolution going on there. She made this choice to take care of herself and to realign her relationship. There was a lot of love there. So any avenue you have to take, know it's the right one and it's getting to where you need to go. But she had her baby, and it was her easiest pregnancy. I can't lie and say she was cured, but she was much, much, much better. Much better. if I'd been able to counsel her on this and give her the wisdom of the spirit baby wisdom all those years ago, maybe it could have been better. Who knows? I hope that this video can maybe ease it for you. All I can tell you is that you are making spiritual, evolutionary leaps here. You're purging out cell memory. You're purging out, oh, I hate to use that word again. But no, you are doing tremendous work here. And it's okay to put yourself first if you feel like you are dying. If you feel like you're dying, it's because you died in a past life before. And that trauma is stuck in the cells. And so fear is the only common thing that you have with morning sickness. Morning sickness is mostly present fears. HG is the past life fear mingling with the present fear. So all you can do is understand it and love yourself through it. If you're lying there on the bathroom floor, just love yourself through it. Talk to your body, talk to your baby. Really all you can do is just tell your body, this is a different experience. We are safe now. Talk to your baby about it too. This is past life's things, but we're safe now. We're safe now. We're safe now. All you can do is change the self-talk. That's all you can do. And I can't tell you it's going to make it better. But if you can talk to your biology, because it's in this new energy right now, our biology is really receptive to being able to communicate and understand what we're saying. If you communicate and say, we're safe now, we don't need to suffer anymore. This is a different time. We are safe, we are safe, we are safe. I mean, that can help you. It can absolutely help you. It can help you up here. And just, getting rid of the guilt and the shame and the depression and the anxiety, because I know if you go through this, then, pregnancies can bring about post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety of going through it again. I wish I had more concrete solutions for you, but the understanding that this is what you went through and this is why you're experiencing it, and that you are a warrior, and that you are making huge evolutionary jumps during this time, and taking care of yourself up here. Just love yourself through it, getting all the help you need. Again, just like I said for morning sickness, and when I went through my migraine, I really, really had to ask for help. Allow yourself to be supported in every single way possible, because that is karma that we're going through now. And but this is a tricky thing to say. Usually I reserve these things for personal readings, but this is a tricky thing to say. But the people that inflicted that suffering on you in a past life could also be the people closest to you in this life coming to make it right. So let those people support you without any shame, without any guilt. I mean, I'm not saying that as your husband was your father and he did this to you and now he's supporting. No. But allow yourself to be supported, because you have no idea how much these people maybe want to support you, because it's in their karmic plan to clear any of their past suffering that they inflicted upon you. So allow yourself to be absolutely supported in every single way. Just call it in. I allow myself to be supported. This is past life trauma. I'm spiritually evolving at a rapid rate. We are safe, we are safe. I allow myself to be supported. If anything, it will do some rewiring up here. And perhaps the rewiring up here will lead to rewiring here too. It's possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you have experienced HG in the past, I give so much love to you, sister. What a warrior you are for being able to go through this. Talk to your body. Talk to your baby. And if any of this information helps you, let me know. I would love to know. And if you can talk to yourself while you're going through it and rewire it up there, then the chances of having a less traumatic experience, or maybe it just going away altogether, is absolutely possible. Anything is possible. Seek support in any way you need. Ask for help. Love yourself and know that you've done nothing wrong. And I'm here loving, supporting you, and so is the whole spirit baby realm, okay? We love you.